Hi everyone, Rizwan Jagani here with another Tuesday video that I promised. This one is over setup for violin or viola in order to have a good comfortable posture. I know a lot of people, specifically violas, have this issue. I've gone through this issue myself, and recently a question, actually just today, was posted on the American Viola Society's Facebook group. So I figured it would be a cool issue to address as it can help a lot of people. So I'm going to talk about it in a few different ways. The first thing being going over overview of body composition and the make of the instrument. Two being the hardware, chin rest and shoulder rest, and then third, working them in perfect harmony. So without further ado, the first thing is get a little bit of a public service announcement. You're different and your instrument is different. This means that your body composition is different from what your friend who might also be playing viola is, and your viola, while it might be a size 16, is also different from your friend's size 16. And the reason being is because violas, the way that they are as instruments, are constantly being experimented with in terms of how they're made. So the bouts might be different widths, it might be thicker, it might be heavier, it might be lighter. So it really just depends on your instrument. So what might work for your friend who might have a pretty solid setup may not necessarily work for you. So you need to keep that in mind. Now, if your friend has a very similar body composition as you do, then it's a good way to sort of go off of. But keep in mind you are different in that regard, so you might need to, you have to figure out what will work for you. Now, sort of things to keep in mind when you're trying to look at your body composition in respect to your setup. Look at your shoulders, like how wide they come out, the height of your neck, and your jawline. So, like for example, my jaw doesn't protrude out as much as it might, as most people's jaws might. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm customizing my setup. So the first thing I'm going to talk about now is for hardware is the shoulder rest, the part that clamps underneath the instrument to sort of create a cradle-like effect on top of your shoulder to support the instrument. And there are so many different shoulder rests out there. I have like 5 floating around my room because of the amount of experimenting I did. It can be an expensive process if you're not smart about it. Unfortunately, I bought one thinking temporarily at the time it would work, but I didn't think long term. I always ended up having issues. Right now I'm using a Kuhn Bravo, which is working for me, and I have sponges attached to it. Now, what might work for me might not work for you, and this is why. So when you're configuring your shoulder rest, you have an ability to adjust how it holds the instrument and the height. And you want to have it as high such that you can keep your left shoulder relaxed and your right shoulder relaxed while you're playing. So you can navigate all 4 strings going from low to high and vice versa and not have to defy gravity to try and get these notes. You want to keep it relaxed while you're playing, even if you're getting really, really into it. You want to keep the shoulders relaxed. Playing the string instruments such as a violin or viola isn't exactly the most symmetrical of tasks, so you want to be able to do it while keeping a good bodily posture and your sort of spinal center aligned. Now, a good sort of way to figure out what shoulder rest works for you is to go to a string shop and literally try every single shoulder rest they have and see how it fits on your body. And you want to be able to make sure that it fits right here on your upper part of your shoulder up to the upper part of your chest. And what I would recommend is pick one that really just fits to the best contour of your body. You can adjust it slightly, and if it's just about there, that's when you can kick in the sponges. Like with the Kuhn Bravo, it was close, not quite. So then I used the sponges, and it helped me a lot. You can get these sponges at any makeup store. You sometimes get them at any wholesale store. I got these from Sally's, and they come in like a pack of 5, and like I change them out on occasion because sometimes they deflate, for lack of a better way of saying it. But it's a good way to sort of getting it just right, and also adding a little bit more ergonomics and a little bit more comfort to it. And just keep in mind, like with the height and everything, that the sponges also do affect the height, so you want to be able to remember that even with the sponges on, you want to make sure that your instrument is not too high and not too low. This factors into the next section of the hardware, which is the chin rest, the part that you rest the jaw on. And they come in all different shapes. This one is called a Morowitz, and it's mounted on the side. Funny enough, I actually have all 3 different types. So that's a side-mounted chin rest. This is what is known as a flesh. It's a center-mounted chin rest. It actually goes over the tailpiece. And I know a lot of people, some people like using this violas too, especially it's good to sort of look over the fingerboard if you like playing like that, or if you like playing over the tailpiece like this. And then another one is called the Guarneri style, which if you Google image violin or viola, this is probably the one that you see the most. And this part goes over the tailpiece, and then this part juts out to the side. It's a flatter style chin rest, so if you have a jaw that sort of comes out a little bit more, it's good just to have something there. And the one I currently use has a lip to it, so it's good for my jawline because my jaw doesn't protrude out as much. So that is something you want to consider. So the way I would think about it is cradle the shoulder, have the shoulder rest, and then put the chin rest on, and then try whichever one works for the best shape of your jawline and for where you want the placement of your viola to be underneath you while you're playing. They come in all different shapes, all different sizes. You can even adjust the height slightly. My Morowitz is pretty high, but I know like there's some called the Kaufman, which is another side mount chin rest that sits lower. And so another way you want to do this is go to a string store, ask for all the different, every single chin rest type that they have, and literally go to town, try different ones. Or another way is also an online resource. You can do the same thing for the shoulder rest. Just make sure that you're not overusing them. That way, when you return them, that they can still be sold again. And that's sort of just a very easy way to make it work. So if I show you how it looks like with my instrument, this is what you want your end goal to be. You want to be able to hold the instrument without exerting much from your neck. You don't want to raise your left shoulder, and when you're playing, you don't want your right shoulder to do a lot of work. And this will create a nice, relaxed, balanced posture. As one of my teachers, Kathy Richardson, says, she often says, bring the instrument to you, do not bring yourself to the instrument. So you literally just need to have your posture such that you bring the instrument to you, adjust your body slightly, and then you're set. Now, when it comes to working in harmony, I kind of already started on this. You want to be able to try your setup different ways. If you're an orchestral player or a pit player, you're going to be playing sitting down most of the time, which means your lower back and your middle back are going to be what's supporting you and the instrument. So you're going to want to try your setup sitting down and literally sawing at it, like play a section of Beethoven 6. It's an endurance piece, and you want to have a good setup if you're playing something like that. If you're a standing musician, you're going to want to play standing a lot with your new setup to see if you can support it, because then you're actually using your whole body to support it. But a good balance is to do both, because you never know when you're going to be sitting, you're never going to be standing, and usually if you're comfortably playing sitting down, you will be fine standing up. But you want to be able to do that. You also might want to be able to just see how long you can go without getting tired. Because the thing is, there's a difference between fatigue, exhaustion from playing, and then pain that can result in just like maybe a minute into playing. A good way to sort of do it is to try different pieces that allow you to expand on the range of your instrument. And if you feel any bit of discomfort, know that it's not. Check that off the list for something that doesn't work and try something else, whether it's the shoulder rest or whether it's the chin rest. So I hope this video is helpful for anybody who's having issues with this. First of all, understanding that your body type is different from your friends who might be playing the same instrument. Similarly, your instrument is different from your friend's instrument. Trying out things with your shoulder rest to see what fits the contours of the body, the proper height that you want to have the shoulder rest to hold your instrument, and then sort of adjusting the ergonomics and comfort with sponges or cloths or whatever. Then the chin rest, the shape of the chin rest, the height of the chin rest, that'll fit your jawline and also allow you to play comfortably. Another point for chin rest is like the infamous hickey that you get from playing for long hours or whatever. A good way to sort of mitigate that is to put moleskin that you get in the pharmacy, like in the foot where they keep all the things for feet, or just putting a cloth like I see Hilary Hahn, she does that. Just keep in mind though that you still want to have a chin rest that fits the contours of your jaw, because it's literally just going to take the form of the chin rest. It's just going to be softer and slightly higher, so you might want to keep that in mind. And then seeing how it works in harmony, basically getting your chin rest and your shoulder rest to work together with your instrument, also with what you're playing, sitting down, standing up, or the literature that you're playing. And it's just a good way to test a variety of things. It took me about 2 years to get this down. Hopefully it doesn't take you that long, and hopefully it doesn't make you spend that much money. So definitely utilize, go to a good string shop where you can get access to a variety of these things. And also it doesn't help to go to a doctor or actually have someone take pictures of you while you are playing with these setups to see if your back and everything is aligned. And hopefully this helps out, and hopefully this will be a good sort of start to a journey of painless and easy playing of your instrument. That way you can enjoy playing it for long hours and not dread the back pain or the shoulder pain or the neck pain that'll result after. Now, fatigue is one thing, pain is different. So do keep all those things in mind, and I hope that this journey, if you're having to embark on it, is smooth and successful. So until then, happy Tuesday.